Hello, this is Lee. I have many years experience in the risk management industry. I have worked in the industry leaders like PayPal, Chime, and Google for many years. And I served in the Merchant Risk Council Education Committee for years. And I am also a certified fraud examiner. So I have seen and deal with a lot of fraud and scam cases. And in this channel, I'm going to share all my experience with you so that we can know it and learn it. And trust me, sometimes you'll be surprised by how smart and hardworking and detail-oriented those fraudsters are. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And leave the comments when I start to make no sense. Firstly, let's talk about the history. Then I will show you how it works, the tricks, and how people would potentially believe it. Then I'm going to show you some potential ways victims can try to use to get their hard-earned money back. Last but not least, I'm going to give it a scorecard. Alright, let's get started. Today, I'm going to show you how to lose at least $200,000 through your LinkedIn network, the LinkedIn investment fraud. The LinkedIn investment fraud is nothing but to trick the victims to invest into the fraudster's controlled site and then take away all their life savings. Usually, fraudsters started by becoming the victim's LinkedIn connections and then gain the victim's trust by making a few successful investments, usually through crypto, on some legit website. After that, the fraudster would convince the victims to invest a lot on another site controlled by the fraudsters. Then, as you expected, the fraudsters would vanish with the victims' hard-earned money. As reported, the victims lose $200,000, $500,000, $800,000, even millions of dollars in this fraud. Firstly, let's talk about history. The history of this fraud spiked in the past 2 years. As reported by the CNBC, the FBI warned about the fraud on LinkedIn is becoming a significant threat to both LinkedIn itself and its users. You can find the report in the description below. In recent years, people heard a lot of stories where someone quickly became millionaires through crypto, and most people don't quite excel in crypto. Fraudsters took advantage of those and eventually lured the victims to invest on a fake crypto site. Next, let's see how this fraud works. This fraud usually has 4 steps. Firstly, fraudsters create a bulk of fake accounts through fancy profile pictures, great education backgrounds, and successful employment histories. The point is to create a lot of fake profiles that are shiny and attractive. Worth noting, LinkedIn has taken many efforts to bring down the fake accounts, but there are still hundreds of thousands of fake accounts existing on the platform. Once the fraudsters successfully create the accounts, they will send connection requests to a lot of people and start conversations to build relationships. Then, they move to the conversation with the targets to other social networking platforms such as WeChat and WhatsApp, where they can gain more trust from the potential victims. At this point, they will bring up the investment topics, something like, "Oh, I'm so happy today because I made $100,000 in the past 2 hours from crypto." Then they will suggest the victims to try to invest a little bit into crypto. The key points here are: 1. Whatever investment the victims make usually have great returns. 2. The crypto websites are usually legit. At this stage, they have got enough trust and it's the time to move to the next step, which is to convince the victims to invest a lot on a different platform. They will say something like, "Oh, I remember you always want to have your own shop. I know a platform where we can make at least 200% return within the next week. I only share it with you because we are friends. So just promise me, don't tell others." And the final step, as you expected, is to take the victim's money and then run away. This so-called platform is usually controlled by the fraudsters, and you will never see them if they transferred all your hard money. This so-called platform is controlled by the fraudsters, and you will never see them if you transferred your hard-earned money to them. Here you go. You know how this fraud scam works. Now it's the time to do the risk test. Today, let's test if it's easy to create a fake LinkedIn profile. And this is a LinkedIn sign up page. I ask for my email address. I just put a random email address that I just created now at Yahoo. And my password is I'm not Li Lei. And agree and sign up. My first name is Mei Mei. Last name is Han. And my phone number is, I put a random phone number. Oh, so it said I have used this one. I can use another one. We put the code they send us. And bam, we are here. So it asked me to make a profile. So I just grow in my current job. So most job title is a director of artificial intelligence. And employment type is full-time, and my most recent company is SpaceX. Just make something fancy. And continue. And my zip code is send an email to my email box. It's at this one, 729861. Agree and confirm. This one, skip, and skip for now, finish. All right, we create a profile successfully, and it's not very hard, but it's time consuming. And now we just need to update our profile a little bit. So let me update my pictures and some background. And we can see if LinkedIn can catch me as a fake profile. All right, so let me start to put some pictures. Add education. So my education, let's say something fancy. How about Columbia University? Columbia Business School. Sounds fancy, huh? We have a PhD. And I'm doing, I don't know, something good. Computer science. Okay. Start year.
Let me think about it. Just a random year. How about 2000 and 2000, and I graduate after 5 years, which is 2007. And the grade is okay. Let's save this one. Now I have fancy education background. And then my location is here, and I can save it. Successfully save it. Ask for my picture. Let me upload some picture. Okay. So why don't I just download some fancy picture here? This looks like a just random search some guy, and let me download his picture. My picture as a local one. Okay, here it is. Come. All right. We have successfully created a fake profile with a fake picture, fake education background, fake working experience successfully in LinkedIn within, I don't know, 5 minutes. And it had passed our risk test.
Now let's see the smartness and professionalism of this fraud. These fraudsters are very professional and well trained. There are many reasons why people fall into this fraud. Firstly, this fraud is complex designed, which makes people believe it. The first 3 or even 5 investments can be profitable. They seem to be nice, smart, and successful. They take time to talk with you, care about you, and they can make you rich. I mean, what else do you need? That's a lot of people lower their guard and fall into this fraud. Secondly, it utilizes people's obsession of quick buck. Without doubt, money can solve 99% of the problems we face day to day. Fraudsters take advantage of it. You want to have your first house? Great. You want to have a better retirement life? Great. You want to have the shop you dreamed about for a long time? Great. They happen to have an opportunity that you can make quick buck just like before, and all your dreams will come true. So it's not a surprise people would believe it. Last but not least, scalability is the key. Since this fraud takes time, it's important for fraudsters to create millions of fake accounts in the first place and reach out to as many people as possible. All these factors together make many victims fall into this fraud every year. People from different industries and different education backgrounds fall into this fraud every year. So it's very normal for people to fall into it. And that's exactly why we started this channel. If you have encountered this fraud, or if you know anyone who has the experience, send us an email. We can talk and learn what happened and warn others so that they can be protected. And of course, there are ways we can tell to avoid it. Let's see how our PAST method can help. PAST stands for pause, evaluate, search, and talk. Firstly, pause for a second. It's a big investment, so take a deep breath, take a bath, have some nice food, forget about it for a second. It takes several years for Bitcoin to be over $50,000 a share, so we have some time. Secondly, evaluate based on our own experience. For example, Warren Buffett's investment return is about 30% in good years. How come we outbid him so much? Is that because he doesn't know this investment platform? Thirdly, search on the internet. We can search for this person's profile picture. We can use the keywords to search as investment on LinkedIn. We will find a lot of information online. Lastly, talk to one person you trust, just one person that you trust the most. It's always good to have a second opinion in such a big investment, and it doesn't hurt. The PASS principle can help us identify the potential scam or fraud 99% of the time. Another important thing people want to know is if somehow I have fallen into this fraud, is there a way to get my money back? The answer is hard. These fraudsters usually locate in Asian countries. Your best chance is to call the police, tell them what happened, and see if they or the FBI can help. But frankly speaking, the chance is low. Also, don't forget to report the LinkedIn profile. You can always drop us an email as well and share your experience so that we can share that with others and fight this together. Now is the time to give the LinkedIn investment fraud a risk score. Let's start with the fraud design. The complexity is great. That's why a lot of victims fall into this fraud, so it gets an 8 out of 10. The creativity is not bad. The investment fraud has been around for years, but this one combines the networking with the crypto investment, so it gets a 6 out of 10. The scalability is not bad. On the one hand, it needs to create millions of fake accounts. On the other hand, it relies on the fraudsters to chat with the victims, although most of the chats may be bought. So the scalability gets a 5 out of 10. Next, for the impact section, the total damage of the investment fraud is not skyrocketing yet, but on average, victims lose their life savings. Some people even lose millions of dollars, so it's get 6 out of 10. For the recovery hardness, as we explained before, the victims usually have a low chance to get money back, so it gets a 7 out of 10. That brings the total risk score to 32 out of 50. You can see it here. The fraud never stops, but life goes on and there are a lot of nice things we can enjoy. Thank you again for watching. Have a good day.